Why reading is so important. Liam arrived in bustling London, a keen glint in his eye, yet a whisper of apprehension in his heart. The vibrant chaos of Piccadilly Circus, the red double-decker buses, and the incessant chatter of passers-by were exhilarating. However, a significant hurdle loomed large, a mountain he needed to conquer for true integration. His English, though theoretically sound, often faltered in the rapid-fire British dialect. Every morning, Liam braced himself for the daily linguistic gauntlet. Ordering a simple coffee could become an unforeseen linguistic exercise. A flat white, please, with oat milk. The barista's swift, clipped response often left him mentally scrambling, replaying the sounds to grasp meaning. This incessant internal translation made simple interactions feel like exhausting mental marathons. He observed how other people talk in English, noting the subtle nuances, the rising intonation at the end of a question, the casual dropping of T's. It was more than just vocabulary. It was a symphony of rhythm and unspoken rules. His ears strained to catch the rapid flow of conversations on the tube, desperate to decode the local vernacular and regional accents. His initial attempts to participate in office banter often met with awkward silences or polite, confused smiles. A well-intended joke would land flat, its cultural context lost in translation. This daily day's struggle chipped away at his confidence, making him hesitant to voice his thoughts, fearing misinterpretation or appearing foolish. He longed for genuine connection. Liam felt a pervasive sense of isolation, even amidst the millions in London. He understood the words, yet often missed the underlying sentiment, the playful sarcasm, the dry wit. It was like watching a play through a frosted window, catching glimpses but never fully experiencing the performance. His aspiration for fluency became paramount. One rainy afternoon, browsing a dusty second-hand bookshop, a revelation struck him. Perhaps the answer wasn't just in speaking, but in absorbing. He picked up a classic British novel, its pages yellowed with age. This, he thought, could be a different way of learning English, an immersive journey beyond textbooks. Why reading is so important, he pondered, turning the delicate pages. Each sentence offered a glimpse into British thought patterns, sentence structures, and an expansive vocabulary rarely encountered in casual conversation. The rhythm of the prose began to subtly rewire his internal linguistic framework, improving his natural cadence. He started small, devouring children's books initially, then moving on to young adult fiction. The stories were engaging, making the learning process feel less like a chore and more like an adventure. Learn English through stories, he realized, was not just a catchy phrase but a profound truth, unlocking deeper understanding effortlessly. As he read, he actively paid attention to how characters conversed. Their dialogues provided practical examples of how to think and speak in various social contexts. He noticed the casual greetings, the polite disagreements, and the art of expressing opinions without causing offense. This way of learning English felt organic, less like memorization and more like absorption. He wasn't just learning words. He was internalizing the culture, the idioms, the subtle undercurrents of British conversation. His brain began to anticipate common phrases, making listening less strenuous and more intuitive, a significant step forward. He began to practice English more deliberately, not just passively absorbing. Reading aloud, he mimicked the intonation he heard in audiobooks. This vocalization helped him articulate words correctly and build muscle memory for his tongue and mouth, crucial for overcoming foreign pronunciation habits. It felt transformative. Liam started seeking opportunities for conversation, however small, buying groceries, asking for directions, even just commenting on the weather. Each tiny interaction was a mini practice session, a chance to test his newly acquired vocabulary and sentence structures in real time, building confidence brick by careful brick. Yet, there were days when the struggle felt overwhelming, when progress seemed painstakingly slow. He heard stories of others who had given up, lamenting the seemingly insurmountable challenge. A cynical thought crept in, a whisper, why you should not learn English if it causes such relentless frustration. One particularly frustrating evening, after a series of awkward exchanges, he almost succumbed to despair. Maybe it's not for me, he muttered, tossing aside a half-read novel. The sheer effort required to simply exist in this linguistic environment felt crushing, threatening to extinguish his initial enthusiasm entirely. But then, he remembered a line from a book about perseverance through seemingly impossible odds. It wasn't about instant perfection, but consistent, incremental improvement. He realized that the occasional setback was part of the journey, a necessary dip before the next ascent, reinvigorating his determination. He decided to embrace the how to talk to people in pairs approach. He found a language exchange partner online, a friendly British woman named Chloe, eager to learn his native tongue. Their first virtual meeting was a mixture of nervous excitement and hopeful anticipation, setting a new course. Their weekly video calls became invaluable. They would discuss articles Liam had read, practicing summarizing and debating points. Chloe patiently corrected his errors, explaining the nuances of British idioms like raining cats and dogs, or taking the mickey. This direct feedback was incredibly beneficial. Chloe also encouraged him to describe his daily day's struggle in English, transforming his frustrations into language practice. Articulating his difficulties helped him process them and find the words to express complex emotions, turning obstacles into opportunities for growth and self-expression. He learned how other people talk in English not just by listening, but by actively imitating. Chloe would demonstrate different intonations for questions versus statements, or the subtle emphasis that changes a word's meaning. He began to mimic these patterns, feeling less like an outsider and more connected. Their conversations flowed freely, touching on everything from current events to personal anecdotes. He observed Chloe's natural pauses, her thoughtful expressions, and how she structured her arguments. This informal mentorship was teaching him how to think and speak authentically, with genuine British flair. The stories he read began to manifest in his spoken English. A particular turn of phrase from a Dickens novel might suddenly appear in his casual conversation, surprising even himself. This integration felt magical, a testament to the power of immersive learning through compelling narratives and rich vocabulary. This organic way of learning English was vastly different from his previous rigid classroom experiences. It was messy, iterative, and deeply personal. He wasn't just memorizing grammar rules. He was building an intuitive understanding of the language, like learning to ride a bicycle by pedaling. He continued to practice English diligently. Beyond his calls with Chloe, he joined a local book club. This forced him into group discussions, challenging him to articulate his opinions clearly and respond spontaneously to others' viewpoints. pushing his linguistic boundaries further. The initial awkwardness in the book club slowly dissipated. He found himself contributing more, even making a few witty remarks that landed perfectly, eliciting genuine laughter. These small victories fueled his confidence, proving that his persistent efforts were truly yielding tangible results. He noticed a significant shift in his day struggle. What once felt like insurmountable obstacles now presented themselves as minor bumps. He could navigate conversations with ease, understanding accents he previously found impenetrable. The constant mental translation faded. He began to enjoy the subtle humor of British banter, reciprocating with his own increasingly confident quips. The fear of misunderstanding was replaced by a genuine curiosity and a willingness to ask for clarification when needed, without feeling embarrassed or self-conscious. Why reading is so important, he often reflected, was not just about expanding vocabulary. It was about developing a nuanced understanding of culture, of human interaction, and of the unwritten rules that govern effective communication in any language, especially a complex one like English. He realized that learning English through stories had given him more than words. It had given him context. The narratives provided a framework for understanding emotions, motivations, and the complex tapestry of British society, far beyond simple dictionary definitions. His ability to think and speak improved dramatically. His thoughts no longer felt trapped behind a linguistic barrier. He could formulate complex ideas in English directly, without the intermediate step of translating from his native language, leading to more fluid and natural expression. Observing how other people talk in English became less about mimicry and more about absorption. He began to intuitively pick up on inflections, intonation, and even regional slang, integrating them naturally into his own evolving linguistic identity, becoming truly bilingual. The way of learning English that worked for him was a blend of deliberate practice, immersive reading, and fearless social interaction. It wasn't a single method, but a multifaceted approach tailored to his personal struggles and learning style, which was highly effective. He was no longer just learning English. He was living it. The language became an integral part of his identity in London, a tool for connection and understanding, rather than merely a set of rules to be mastered. His perception shifted entirely. The old question, why you should not learn English, now seemed utterly absurd. Every challenge overcome, every new friendship forged, every successful conversation proved the immense value of his efforts, reinforcing his belief in the journey's profound importance. He found immense joy in exploring the rich tapestry of British literature, from contemporary thrillers to classic poetry. Each book opened new windows into the British psyche, deepening his appreciation for the language's incredible versatility and expressive power, and never-ending discovery. His conversations with Chloe, now less about formal practice and more about genuine friendship, highlighted the effectiveness of how to talk to people in pairs. It provided a safe, supportive environment to experiment, make mistakes, and receive constructive feedback gracefully. He also began to notice his native language skills subtly improving, his ability to articulate thoughts in any language becoming more refined. The process of learning English had unexpectedly sharpened his overall cognitive and communication abilities, a surprising but welcome bonus. The daily struggle transformed into daily opportunities for growth. Instead of dreading interactions, he now actively sought them out, embracing the chance to hone his skills and expand his understanding of the diverse people inhabiting London. He became an active participant. He started helping other newcomers, sharing his journey and offering advice. He emphasized why reading is so important, urging them to find stories they genuinely enjoyed, making the learning process engaging rather than a dry academic exercise, inspiring them greatly. He spoke about how to think and speak, not just in terms of grammar, but in terms of confidence and clarity. He encouraged them to formulate their thoughts entirely in English from the outset, rather than translating, as this streamlined the entire communication process. He shared anecdotes about how other people talk in English, illustrating the cultural nuances and humorous misinterpretations he had overcome. These personal stories resonated, providing relatable insights and demonstrating that mistakes were part of the learning curve, not failures. He advocated for learn English through stories, highlighting how narratives embed vocabulary and grammar in memorable contexts. He showed them how a compelling plot could make learning feel effortless, turning passive reading into an active, enjoyable pursuit for language acquisition. He outlined his effective way of learning English, stressing the importance of variety, listening to podcasts, watching British TV, and engaging in real-life conversations. He underscored that consistency and perseverance were far more crucial than any single method. He provided practical tips on how to practice English, suggesting role-playing scenarios and using language exchange apps. He stressed that even 5 minutes of focused practice daily was better than sporadic, intense bursts, building momentum consistently over time. He even touched upon the initial despair, the thought of why you should not learn English, but framed it as a natural part of the learning process. He explained that such feelings were temporary hurdles, not reasons to abandon the invaluable pursuit, offering genuine empathy. He particularly championed how to talk to people in pairs, explaining the safety and effectiveness of one-on-one practice. It allowed for focused feedback and personalized learning, accelerating progress without the pressure of a larger group setting, fostering rapid growth. Liam's journey had truly been transformative. He no longer felt like an outsider. London, with its myriad accents and bustling life, now felt like home. His English was fluid, natural, and imbued with a confidence he once only dreamed of possessing, a remarkable achievement. He could effortlessly discuss politics with colleagues, joke freely with friends at the pub, and even understand the often cryptic announcements on the London Underground. The once intimidating soundscape of the city had become a comforting, familiar hum. His confidence radiated into all aspects of his life. He found new professional opportunities opening up, and his social circle expanded exponentially. Learning English had not just been about language. It had been about unlocking a fuller, richer life experience. He understood that fluency was a continuous journey, not a destination. There were always new idioms to learn, new regional accents to decipher, and new depths of literary expression to explore. The learning never truly stopped, which was part of its enduring appeal. But the initial, daily struggle, once a source of deep frustration, had become a distant memory. It served as a powerful reminder of how far he had come, a testament to his resilience and the incredible power of dedicated, consistent effort. Why reading is so important, he would tell anyone who asked. is because it teaches you to think in English, not just translate. It cultivates an intuitive understanding, bypassing the need for mental gymnastics, leading to more authentic communication effortlessly. He had mastered how to think and speak with a distinctly British flavor, naturally adopting phrases and intonations. It wasn't forced. It was an organic evolution, a seamless blend of his true self with the linguistic landscape he had so diligently navigated and embraced. The way other people talk in English no longer intimidated him. It fascinated him. He appreciated the diverse dialects, the regional quirks, and the sheer vibrancy of the language in all its forms. He was no longer just listening. He was truly hearing and understanding. His daily day's struggle transformed into a daily joy of discovery, a new word learned, a new idiom understood. Each interaction was an opportunity to deepen his connection with the language and the people who spoke it, enriching his life immeasurably. So, Liam, once a hesitant newcomer, now thrived. His story became a living testament to the idea that perseverance, paired with the right approach, especially learning English through stories and consistent practice, can indeed transform any linguistic mountain into a joyous ascent.